Hey, my fellow multidimensionals, it's Asia Andromeda, founder of multidimensionalu.com, and I am out here being schooled, being taught by the hawks. I don't know if you can see them. They're so high up now. You may be able to hear them. In this weekly message, sharing with you the continuing personal journey, I've just come off a wonderful conversation and discussion with someone who was willing to share all of their knowledge and wisdom in business. And it felt a little bit like drinking from a fire hose, because I think anyone can relate to when you don't have experience in a certain area, and when you're learning about that and you're feeling into these, these directives that you've been given. Maybe it's what's been in your heart and you've really wanted to put that together. A lot of you have written in and talked about retreat centers, that you just know you're supposed to do this, but it feels very daunting. It can really kind of fry the neural net, right? Because what my guides were showing me when I came out here is that it was just bringing up those shadow aspects of myself that still feel very small, and it's outside my comfort zone, and that in and of itself is a really powerful and useful part of the journey. So don't overlook it as some sort of distraction. It's actually some of the core curriculum of what we're doing here as way showers, is presencing our inadequateness, those feelings of, I don't know what I'm doing, this feels like too much, all of that. And so I haven't had those feelings come up since, in any significant way, I think, since I was still building websites and trying to teach myself how to do WordPress websites. That's when I realized, there's something else I'm supposed to be doing here. So I just wanted to share that with you in real time, that as I go forward in making good on my prime directive that I was given earlier this year, it's interesting to note what that brings up for me. It's not going to stop me, but I also recognize that that is a huge piece of the work. It's always easier to see for other people. I work with a lot of people who are, very consciously working with their outside their comfort zone and expanding beyond it, and all of that shadow that comes up. So I just really want to emphasize that. So I came out here to just have a moment to kind of bring myself into 0 point, let the mind go still, right? That frontal lobe lobotomy of just, don't need to overthink this, don't need to go into action mode. Just the conversation that this gentleman, Jude, and I had has already set more things in motion, and there were a lot of great ahas about how things can start moving forward and not have to be a big, complicated endeavor. And so what Hawk taught me, there was a beautiful red tail sitting in one of the cottonwoods back here, and I say she just because she's really big and the females tend to be pretty big. She took off, and I thought she was just going to fly away because I was disturbing her peace, but no. Takes me back to 2014 when Hawk really took me under her wing after I had my spontaneous past life regression experience on that sacred mountain in Brittany, remembered my Celtic priest past lifetime, had like an overlap, two realities simultaneously. It was a really tremendous experience, and it activated all of my shamanic abilities that this Celtic priest had. And so when I returned home it was Idaho at that time, I was all of a sudden speaking with the elements. I was initiated by the element of air, and Hawk really worked with me at the time. And so it was a really beautiful moment to come back out here and receive this support. And so what she did is she flew, and then she turned, she banked, and she circled back. And I noticed, the amount of effort it took for the wings, all of the wings having to go really hard to get. And then she found this beautiful current of air, and she just started to rise on it, right? And then a second one showed up, and she did the same thing, or he did the same thing. And they were showing me, get yourself in the, right energy flow. And yes, it will take a little bit of effort, mechanical, physical effort on your part. And then slowly but surely, you'll notice, they don't flap anymore, right? Maybe one adjustment here or there, but it's just this beautiful soaring, using the natural flow that's already here. Right? And I watched the second one have to fly for a while to find that that flow, that upswelling of air. It took it a few moments, right? It wasn't like a slam dunk. I had to kind of fly around, and it was staying at the same height, and then I saw it, and it caught it, and I immediately it started to go up. So, you know, quite the lesson today from brother and sister Hawk, and I'll just keep you all posted on the journey. But I think obviously the details are kind of fun as how, you know, all of this goes. But to me, the bigger elements are this, you know, the core curriculum of working with the emotional body of what it means to be human on your journey of expansion. Because as you expand to go beyond where you've been before, you know, emotionally, mentally, and certainly energetically, right, it surfaces some of the more contracted aspects of yourself. And that is the point, is what the emphasis keeps coming in, because remember, as way showers, it is our life embodiment exploration journey that is the teaching. So while the outcomes plural that we're looking to, you know, first emanate and then create, facilitate in the physical, will absolutely happen, it is the journey of the process of what's the alchemy of what's happening to get to those outcomes that is the main contribution. And I always forget this because I get concentrated just like everyone else, right, on outcomes. And so it's always a good reminder to just take a time out. And, you know, the guidance is always clear. Yeah, they're like, hello, put yourself in joy and the rest will follow. So I came out and I grounded and did some earthing on the beautiful grass, and these two beautiful hawks showed up. So yeah, just a reminder that we have so much support if we are just paying attention and choosing grace and ease and getting out of resistance. Whew. Easier said than done sometimes, people. So a special thanks to Ivo for your time, treasure, talent, and everything that your innate brings. It's a pleasure to have you on this journey with us. And let me just see if there's anything else that wants to come in this context of, yeah, so what I'm being shown is so many of you are still focusing on all the reasons why you feel like you can't pursue these bigger directives that you have in your heart. If you just make a simple shift and you begin to focus on how much joy and excitement that brings to you, and you feel when you put yourself in, that's already a fait accompli, it already happened, that will start to shift everything for you. So again, right, attention, where attention goes, energy flows. So yeah, let's all just hang out, and it's already happened. And then we can enjoy the process of, you know, the illusion of getting there. So much more. All right, love you all.